One of the most difficult transitions that a technical professional will make in one's career is going from, let's say, an engineer to a manager or a leader. I had to go through that myself as a civil engineer. However, in today's engineering management lessons video, I have with me Dagna Bieda. Dagna is an engineer and author of the book Brain Refactor. And Dagna, what I want to ask you is I want you to help our listeners who have to make that transition from technical professional to manager or to leader and become the manager that they want to be. Based on what you've talked about in your book, Brain Refactor, your philosophy of reframing your mindsets, what advice can you offer to them to make that transition more smooth?
So one thing that I want you to recognize is as you're stepping into a new role, you will have a new scope of responsibilities that will require a new set of skills. Skills you maybe not have developed just yet. So you're kind of have to learn new things that were not part of your role before you got promoted, right? A lot of us try to work on those skills before we get promoted just to prove that we are ready for that next step. But a lot of the time when it comes to getting that promotion and executing, it might be not as smooth as it used to be. And what happens often that I see in engineers that I work with as a coach who step into leadership positions is that doubt creeps in, that imposter syndrome creeps in just because you stepped into a new role. And it's really important to understand that, again, it's a new role that requires new set of responsibilities. And be careful with not falling back into micromanaging just because you feel comfortable doing all that job yourself. You already have the skill set, you already know what it is that you're doing, and it probably brings you a lot of pleasure, right? It's probably fun and entertaining and feels good to get things done. But as you step to the leadership position, now you're stepping away from the thing that you're actually good at, and you're trying to do something completely different. So I hope you can be gracious with yourself and give yourself the time to master the new skills required for the new role. And keep that in mind, that what got you here is not going to take you there. So you have to expand and open yourself for new skills. Two more things came to my mind that I would love to add is that all of a sudden, as you step into this new role, all of a sudden, your definition of success no longer matches your role and responsibility. So you have to redefine what success now means, right? From my own career, being a software engineer, whenever you deploy a feature, you can be proud of yourself. At the end of the day, you feel like, yes, I've done it. Oh, feels good. The job is done. But when you become a team lead or an engineering manager, all of a sudden that sense of success doesn't happen as often. It's not, happening on a daily or weekly basis. Now it's kind of like a span of a quarter or a month or a sprint or whatever chunk of time you're working in, when your team delivers and you can feel good about how you led them to this point. So that blurring of what success means brings people down a lot of the time because it doesn't give us that dopamine rush that we really enjoy as engineers from just solving problems on the go, right?
I hope you enjoyed this week's engineering management lessons video. I thought Dagna gave some great advice, especially that last piece about how you need to reframe your definition of success when you take on a new role or new responsibility in your career. Check out her book, Brain Refactor. And if you enjoyed the conversation, please subscribe here. We put out videos like this on a weekly basis to help engineers become better managers and leaders. I'll see you next week.